The Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert W. Service. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his house in the south to roam the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. And he'd often say in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. One Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Downson Trail, and talk of your cold through the parka's fold, stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd closed and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. And it wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we laid packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe, he looked at me and said he,
"I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you not to refuse my last request."
Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and then he said with a sort of moan,
"Oh, it's this cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet 'tain't been dead. It ain't my awful dread of this icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, that you'll cremate my last remains."
A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on the strike of dawn, but God, he looked ghostly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath left in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You must tax in these bronze and brains, but a promise true, so it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed this load. And the long, long nights by the lone firelight, while the huskies round the ring howled their woes in homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed this thing. And every day the quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. And on I went till the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. And the trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to this hateful thing, and I hearkened with a grin, till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw it twice, and it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, I said with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Then I found some coal that I found laying around, and I heaped the fuel up higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, in a blaze that you'd seldom see. And I borrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. And it was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I didn't know why. And the greasy smoke and the inky choke went streaking across the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with this grisly fear. But the stars came out, and as they danced about, eerie, I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, so it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. There sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said,
Please close that door. It's fine in here, and I greatly fear you'll let in the cold of the storm. Since I left Plumtree, down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee.